It's Tuesday, July 5th, 2016, and big news coming from Comcast today as we're learning that the cable megagiant is going to incorporate the Netflix app into its X1 platform. According to a joint statement, the two companies have a lot of work to do before the app will launch on X1 cable boxes, but the deployment is supposed to happen later on this year. This is a really big deal, and for a number of reasons. First off, Netflix and Comcast have had a dicey history. Most people see the two as opposed to each other based purely on the fact that Netflix is a favorite among so-called cord cutters bailing from cable companies like Comcast. And in addition to that, Netflix CEO Reed Hastings has been very vocal about his disapproval of Comcast, accusing the cable company of slowing down its video streams to its customers who get their internet from Comcast. So the fact that the two will soon be in bed together is surprising indeed. But Netflix stands to gain subscribers out of this deal, while Comcast will now have something that may keep folks from switching over to devices other than its own, like a Roku box, Chromecast, or Apple TV. And if I'm Comcast, I'm thinking there's also an opportunity for ad overlay here, although we think it would be extremely difficult for Comcast to sneak that into the contract. No matter, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Oh, and you might want to go get yourself some Netflix stock. Today marks the end of an era as BlackBerry has announced it is finally killing off its classic model. The physical keyboard, it can be argued, is what BlackBerry is best known for these days. Still, the company has confirmed it has ceased manufacturing the device and, in something of a surprise, squashed rumors that it would cease producing its BlackBerry OS X devices. It had previously been rumored that the company would no longer supply devices to U.S. Senate staff, but we now know that the nation's government will be able to continue feeding their bewildering obsession for what many consider is, shall we say, antiquated tech. BlackBerry's financials haven't looked so good lately, so you kind of have to wonder if giving up on the device that has somehow kept you famous while rival companies fly by like you're standing still is such a great idea. Well, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound so smart, does it? Time will tell if BlackBerry actually has some ideas up its sleeve or if this is the beginning of the end for the company. Are you an organ donor or maybe just not sure? Join the club. Well, if you want to become an organ donor, Apple wants to make the process of registering easy by incorporating it into its health app. Apple has partnered with Donate Life America to put a button in its app that will let users enroll in the National Donate Life Registry in mere seconds, potentially saving up to 8 lives, suggests Apple Chief Operating Officer Jeff Williams. The Associated Press reports Apple CEO Tim Cook remarked on the excruciating wait Steve Jobs endured while waiting for a liver transplant in 2009. Finally, I want to take a moment for a little editorial comment. Today, the rumor mill is working overtime, making itself look super stupid. One of the trending stories this morning is the suggestion that there will be no MacBook Air in 2016. Several sites are citing a Telegraph article in which Tim Cook is quoted as saying that the iPad Pro is good enough to replace a laptop or even a desktop PC for some folks. The extrapolation is that Apple isn't interested in making a MacBook Air, but simply having a straight-up MacBook line of laptops. Here's the problem, though. We've known this for ages. There's no new news, there's no new evidence. There's just the fact that not everyone can keep up with all things going on in tech all the time. So this revelation is getting some traction. Honestly, I'd prefer it if we had some wildly irresponsible rumors going on here. At least that would be interesting. So, you know what? I'm gonna just start one. The new MacBook will also be a drone. You see, it will be a laptop that doesn't need your lap because it will fly. It will be called the MacBook Hover, and it will use silent roto blades to keep the noise down, kind of like Airwolf and Blue Thunder had stealth modes, which mysteriously quieted the attack choppers down. As if you would choose to have a loud helicopter when you could just have a quiet one. Whatever. You heard it here first, folks. The new MacBook is a drone. Believe it, because it's on the internet. All right, I think that's enough fun for one day. Thanks so much for watching DT Daily, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.